My parents had been part of a very interesting lifestyle, I guess you could say.
They were in prison?
Yes, okay.
Well, she told me she really didn't never want to have anything to do with me again. So, I guess I've kind of respected her wishes.
Leighton Meester rose to fame by playing the lovable mean girl Blair Waldorf. And while Blair was born into a life of riches, Leighton's beginnings couldn't have been more opposite. Leighton was essentially born into a crime family. Her mom literally gave birth to her while serving her prison sentence, and another one of her family members ended up on the U.S. Marshals 15 Most Wanted list. In this video, we'll unpack her difficult beginnings, her rise to fame on Gossip Girl, and how she went from having a good relationship with her mother to never wanting to speak to her again. Let's dive into the secret world of Leighton Meester. Leighton Meester was born April 9th, 1986 to Constance and Doug Meester. As I mentioned before, Leighton's mom Constance was pregnant with her while serving out her prison sentence. Constance, however, was able to physically give birth in a hospital and was also granted some time to nurse with Leighton before having to go back and finish out her sentence. Constance was arrested for smuggling illegal substances from Jamaica into the United States, more specifically a whopping 1,200 pounds to be exact. When arrested, she was reportedly working in conjunction with Leighton's dad, Doug, along with her father and her sister. While serving out her prison sentence, her sister Judy decided to do the unthinkable. She decided to escape from prison, which landed her on the U.S. Marshals 15 Most Wanted list and made her the first woman in history to ever be placed on that list. With both of her parents in prison, Leighton was released to the custody of her grandmother until her mother was done serving her sentence. Constance luckily got a 16-month sentence instead of the full 10 years she was initially supposed to serve. Once her sentence was served, it was goodbye to Texas and hello to Florida, where her and Leighton would settle. At a very young age, it was very clear that Leighton was not going to let her beginnings determine the rest of her life. At just the age of 10, she attended a modeling convention in Atlanta and was instantly signed to an agent on the spot. From there, she was asked to move to New York, which Constance wasted no time in helping her pursue her dreams. But the road to fame was anything but easy. Even with Leighton booking major store brands like Bloomingdale's and Limited Too, Leighton and her mom had trouble making ends meet. They reportedly had to live in some sketchy places. Before they knew it, it was time to pack up and move again, because by 14 years old, Leighton and her mom had moved from New York into an apartment in Hollywood, California. But still their circumstances didn't really change. Even with the extra money that Leighton's grandfather would send, the modeling gigs were still not paying the bills. This hard reality took a toll on Leighton as a child, as she recalled not being able to relate to other kids, as they were worried about who liked who, while she was worried about whether or not they would have gas and food for the next day. In addition to modeling, Leighton had also been pursuing acting. She had a lot of guest spots on some pretty iconic TV shows. Her very first acting job was one episode on Law and Order. She also appeared on 8 Simple Rules, 24, Veronica Mars, and had a 2-episode stint on House. Then that following year, she would land her career-making role as Blair Waldorf on the CW's Gossip Girl. Overnight, Leighton went from being mostly unknown to a household name. To say that Gossip Girl was a success would be a huge understatement. Gossip Girl quickly turned into a cultural phenomenon.
We need extra security this morning, okay? Because the stars of Gossip Girl are here.
Well, everybody likes you, man. What is he on like Gossip Girl or something? I don't.
To have the president reference a show, let alone a CW teen show, is not something that happens every day. And while the entire cast was getting used to being household names, quickly after, rumors started to swirl that Leighton Meester and Blake Lively weren't getting along on set. Leighton and Blake quickly tried to put those rumors to rest.
The magazines and everybody is dating everyone, everybody hates everyone, everybody's like had tons of plastic surgery and we're actually men and trannies. I mean, it's just like, you don't listen to the rumors.
The real life is so much better and so much more exciting, I think, for us. But to other people, it's like, they don't want to hear that we all get along, and that we all go to the set and we're all just total dorks. They want to hear that we're like fighting and that we're all, I mean, you know, dating and like.
I can't believe they haven't found out yet that I'm pregnant with Brad's baby. It's Angelina's gonna be really upset, but the gossip magazines don't know that. Thank the Lord, that's only true.
Despite Blake and Leighton's playful attempt at shutting down the rumors, the rumor mill kept spinning for years. Some of the rumors were mild and said that they were friendly on set but not best friends. Others went as far as saying that they could barely stand to be around each other on set. For years, people chalked it up to them both having different personalities, until recent controversy surrounding Blake led to a lot of old clips resurfacing. This is how I know Blake Lively is used to being favored by the press. Because what do you mean you made fun of Leighton Meester being born in jail and nobody ever called you out on it?
That was a lot of information about cages, and I'm sorry, I was still thrown off by that stuff. He was like, wow. Who else didn't want to act in a cage?
Well, someone started a cage. Yeah.
Someone started in a cage is a reference to her being born in prison. That's coming directly after making an uncomfortable joke about her coworkers being like monkeys. Leighton has a hell of a lot more patience than I do. They would have to separate me from her. And before anybody says there's anything about dark humor, that is not her trauma, that is not her story, and that's not her place to make a joke about that or even bring that up in a setting that's supposed to be work. Yes, that's me plugging my own TikTok video in my YouTube video. If you haven't followed me already, go follow me on TikTok. But seriously, some of those resurfaced videos of Blake with the cast of Gossip Girl is just really cringy and hard to watch. She comes off as absolutely obnoxious and rude, and it seems like she thought that she was the absolute main character of the show, when to me, at the core of Gossip Girl, it was an ensemble. And if you want to get super technical, her and Leighton were definitely the two leads of the show. While Leighton may not have gotten along with all of her co-stars, she sure as hell got along with Sebastian Stan. Leighton and Sebastian dated from 2008 until 2010. This was in the era where basically all of the 20-somethings in the cast were dating each other. Blake was dating Penn, Ed was dating Jessica, and of course, Leighton was dating Sebastian. Sebastian played Carter Bazin over 11 episodes in the series, and while I don't remember their characters having a lot of on-screen time together, they definitely had a big enough spark to have a pretty long relationship. When asked about his relationship with Leighton and how he dealt with his girlfriend kissing other people on the show, Sebastian went on to say, "It's work and everyone shares the same mentality when it comes to that. But we all laugh about it," adding, "The good part is I get to go home with her." Though they didn't talk about their relationship too much, it was pretty obvious that the pair really cared and loved each other. Even though they mainly kept their relationship private, they did have a very iconic moment in the spring of 2009 where they sat courtside along with their fellow Gossip Girl co-star Chase Crawford. And without a care in the world, the pair just made out in front of everyone and was just enjoying their time together. But unfortunately, in the spring of 2010, they would break up. It was reported by OK Magazine that Leighton ended the relationship because she didn't know how to be in one. While dating Sebastian, Leighton had stated that she never really liked any of her exes and that she was glad when they broke up. But while doing an interview with 17 Magazine, she reportedly admitted that her and Sebastian's breakup was the only experience where it was really hard and she was really sad when it ended. She did find the positive in the situation by saying that the split taught her about herself, love, and life. Sebastian has always spoken highly about Leighton. Anytime he reflects on his time on Gossip Girl, he would say things like, It was the first time I was in serious love with somebody. Walking around the city, seeing those sample buildings and streets, life seemed simpler. And when doing a Variety interview in 2024, he somehow found a way to kind of shift the conversation to briefly talk about Leighton.
I know what you're doing. You can't avoid what happened forever. I feel like that's something I could probably say to you now. I know what you're doing. I really hope this is what I once said to Blake Lively. Was it Blake Lively? Yeah, wish it could have been Blair.
To me, that was definitely a quick little reference to the relationship that they shared together. All in all, it seems like they both still have love and respect for each other and wish each other well. With the unstable upbringing that Leighton had, it's not really surprising that she had trouble keeping a healthy relationship. And even though she had a pretty solid relationship with her mother, things were about to take a turn for the worse. In 2011, the actress would end up suing her mother. Leighton reportedly had been sending her unemployed mother $7,500 every month to help with her little brother Lex's care. Lex was reportedly dealing with some serious health issues, including recovering from brain surgery. The money was to be used for Lex's medical bills, but Constance was accused of blowing the money on plastic surgery, Botox, and hair extensions. Leighton ended up cutting her mom completely off, and Constance tried to convince her that she had an oral contract requiring her to pay her $10,000 a month for life. Constance alleged that this was a verbal contract, but a judge didn't see it that way. They ruled that there was no contract between the mom and daughter, and in June of 2012, the verdict was that Leighton didn't have to pay her mom a dime. If all of that wasn't bad enough, Constance also alleged that Leighton had assaulted her. She said things got so bad between them that her son had to separate the two. Leighton also wanted to gain custody of her brother Lex. It was never determined what happened with that part of the lawsuit, but it was pretty clear in 2014 that Lex was still staying with his mother. Constance told In Touch that Leighton had cut her off financially, her home went into default, she couldn't afford to buy food, and her and Lex began searching for homeless shelters. She was quoted by saying, "I only have $26 left. If something doesn't happen soon, we'll be homeless by the holidays." Constance claimed that Leighton was no longer speaking to her brother because of his relationship with her, but I find it really hard to believe that a sister who was sending money to her sibling and wanting custody of him would just completely cut him off for that reason. It's unclear whether or not Leighton is still really close with her brother today, but it's safe to say her relationship with her mother is absolutely over.
Did you know your daughter? I mean, your daughter, Leighton. You know she's pregnant, right?
So I've heard, yeah.
All right. How did you find out?
Someone sent me I don't know if it was a text mail. I can't remember exactly, but it was someone that I do not know sent me a photograph of her with a baby bump.
Oh wow! So you just recently found out that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
When was the last time that you saw her or spoke to her?
I spoke to her. I saw her in December of 2010. So we're going on about 5 years.
Leighton's mom went on to say how she wished that she could have a relationship with her daughter and also her granddaughter. She was also asked if she met her current husband Adam, and she went on to say that she hasn't. The entire interview seemed very manipulative, especially the end where Leighton's mom is crying and it's clear they're still filming her. It just further shows exactly why she no longer has contact with her mother and is probably way better off that way. Ironically, while the rest of her personal life seemed to be falling apart, her love life was about to come together when she met her now husband Adam Brody. Leighton and Adam's paths crossed a few times before officially dating. They met through the producer of Gossip Girl, who is the same producer of The OC, Josh Schwartz. Then in 2011, Adam and Leighton were cast in the movie The Oranges, but unfortunately he was dating someone else at the time. So they didn't get together until about a year after, when he was fully single. In early February of 2013, the rumor mill starts buzzing that Adam and Leighton had been hanging out for a few weeks. Then they officially go public with their relationship at the premiere of Adam's film, Some Girls. About a year later, the pair would get married in February of 2014. And then in 2015, they both become parents to their daughter Arlo. Leighton and Adam have been married for over 10 years. Leighton may be far removed from her old life, but she has never forgotten what it's like to wonder where your next meal would come from. Leighton and Adam have worked closely with many charities, but it seems like Feeding America is one charity that's very near and dear to her heart. Even though in the beginning of her story, the odds were severely stacked against her, Leighton went on to have a career that most actors could only dream of. And even more impressively, in her personal life, she pushed through generational traumas to make sure she had a happy and healthy relationship. Leighton's iconic portrayal of Blair Waldorf shaped the way that Mean Girls would be portrayed for years to come. And as younger audiences are introduced to Gossip Girl every day, it's safe to say that her portrayal will live on forever. That's it for the dive into the secret world of Leighton Meester. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you've made it this far, you might as well go ahead and subscribe. And I really like doing these videos, so if you have anyone in mind for me to do next, please comment them down below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.